Hey mates, and welcome to a Blind Prime special episode. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about something that happened to me at a plasma center yesterday. And I want you to answer a question that I have at the end of today's video. Is it prejudice or was it bureaucracy? Please, I would love to hear from you in the comments below the answer to that question because it's been bothering me since yesterday when this happened. So, as you may or may not know, I'm constantly needing some money to help fund this channel. I'm trying to build a nonprofit from scratch, and it is a pricey ordeal to do. But I've been doing it almost 5 years now, and it's been working out pretty good. But I needed an influx of cash. Quitting the death sticks has helped out a lot when it comes to getting me a little more money for the channel, but needed a little bit more. And it's been difficult for me to find a person to help sell stuff online. Can't seem to have I don't have the best luck about that. So I figured, what can I do right now in order to get some money that doesn't require relying on other people? Uh, and what it was I could just go sell my plasma. So I went and sold my blood because why not? There's a place nearby online. It got a lot of good ratings. And I'm like, this is going to be a fun experience. It's going to be a little annoying. I'm going to have to sit in a place for a while as my blood is drawn and plasma separated from blood cells, and blood cells and stuff are put back in my body and they keep the plasma themselves. And it's just going to be an ordeal, but it's not going to be bad. Like, I've been through worse in my life. It's just going to be I'll have to sit here and listen to an audiobook until the machine is done doing its thing. I'm like, I'm down with that. I can totally do that. So they require 3 pieces of information when you go there. They need you, if you're a first-time person, they need you to bring in your state ID. Understandable. They need you to bring in Social Security card. A little questionable. Why do you need that? And they need you to bring in a form of something that states where you live, your address. You need something that has your address on it. And I'm like, oh, well, you don't want blood from the homeless then. That is exactly what that tells me. Now, no, I don't. They may have their own reasons why they require you to bring in a piece of mail. But whatever they say, the optics are pretty clear on that one. They don't want homeless blood. That's what the optics tell me right there. I'm good at seeing the optics. It really helps when you're blind and you're not distracted by pretty colors. So, show up with my mail, with my Social Security card, with my ID. And get out of the Uber car. The Uber lady's really helpful. She points me in the right direction by literally asking if she could, and she touches each side of my face, and she just kind of gave me a little pressure to let me know which direction I was going in until I turned in the right direction, and then she let me go, and she said, the door's directly in front of you. All you have to do is walk straight. Knocking things over here at Blind_Prime. Please like, share, and subscribe. So that's what I did. She led me there. I walked over. There's a guy who was hanging out front of the door to the plasma center, K.E.D. plasma, by the way, and he was very helpful. He apparently worked there, and he opened the door for me, and we went inside. He told me to wait at the counter. He was going to be back in a moment to help me. Waiting at the counter, somebody else inside tells me to go over there and wait in front of the computers on the counter so that I'm not in the way. And I'm like, okay, but whenever people say go over there, even though I had my cane prominently displayed, she wasn't paying attention because she was immediately helping somebody else. So I just went over there. And when somebody says over there, I just go right. I don't know. I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm tired of just standing here and doing nothing and going, I'm blind. No, you know what? You tell me to go over there. It's on you now what happens next. So I go over there and I slam into a wall and I nearly fall over, grab the counter, and okay. I'm willing to hurt myself to make a point sometimes. And that's important. You need to understand that. To solve ignorance, sometimes you got to nearly hurt yourself in order to get people to be like, oh my God, he is blind. He's not faking. Wow. Yeah, so you need to get that reaction from somebody. So did that. Person showed up out of nowhere to help me get to the counter with the computers, like miraculously, just there. The moment I hit the wall, they're like, oh, do you need help to get to the computer counter? Like, were you guys just wondering? Are you just watching me from a distance going, is this guy blind or is he not? So they'd lead me to the computers. And I get in front of the computers and I'm sitting there waiting, and they said to prominently display my piece of mail to let people know that I'm a new person, and then somebody will be by eventually to get me. Waiting and waiting. I was told to be patient. I'm like, yeah, well, I am a patient, so I guess I'll be patient. Patients are always got to be patient, right? Patience for patience' sake. Somebody else arrived, and me and them started chatting, and they told me about other plasma centers around, and we're just having a good old conversation for 10 minutes or so until someone finally arrives and looks at my ID and then looks at my piece of mail and goes, well, your mail and your ID match, so you don't need your mail. Here's your piece of mail back. I need to take your ID and your social security card into the back so the manager can look at them and make the final determination stuff. I'm like, whatever. I really don't care. You're getting me into a stupid system that I don't agree with, but whatever. I need the money. And so I'm waiting there again. She gives me a video to listen to. So I'm listening to the video, and I find out there's only like 4 or 5 employees here, and there's 20 people waiting. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are stressed. Like you got a lot of people to serve today. Does your company only allow you to have 5 employees at a time? Or did people call out? Like, were you supposed to have 10 working here or something, and people call out? I don't know. I don't know their hiring practices. I don't know their hiring practices at all. I do know that they didn't have enough people. That's for sure. So I sit there, wait, listen to the video they give me to listen to. Video finishes, and I'm sitting there talking to the other guy because they haven't arrived back yet. Until finally, mid conversation with this other dude that I've been chatting with, who's also waiting at the plasma center, who's getting less assistance than me, by the way. Somebody shows up. They stand just to my left, and they don't say anything. They just stand there. And they just stand there, and they just stand there, and they just stand there till the person that I'm talking to goes, hey, I think that woman is here to help you out. And I went, oh, cool. And I turned around and I stared across the counter to where she was before when she passed me all the stuff and I gave her the ID stuff, which, by the way, she's over here to my left. So I turned my chair and faced forwards because he said he was here. And then she cleared her throat and she said, I'm over here. And I turned my chair around and I'm like, oh, okay, you're over here now. All right. Well, so what's the next step? And she goes, well, we can't serve you today. And I want you to understand it's not because you're blind. It's because your ID and your social security card don't match. And I went, well, this is weird. I've gotten a passport with that social security card in that ID. So you saying that they don't match? I need to speak to your manager. I'm sorry, but this sounds weird. And brings the manager out. The manager comes out, and they stand next to me, and they go, well, I would like you to know that this is not because you're blind. I want you to understand that one first. But this is because your ID's name and your social security card name don't match. And just so you know, my ID has my first name spelled out and my middle name initialized. My social security card has my first name initialized and my middle name spelled out. So, never been a problem before. Not once in my entire life has that been an issue. If it had been, it would have been fixed by now, if that had ever been an issue. But it's never been an issue. And I don't think it's an issue right now. But I'm also one of those people that I'm not going to make a big scene. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream, because what I understood right there at that moment was that whether or not she's she's disallowing me service based on my blindness, doesn't matter. They don't want me there. That's what that tells me. They don't want me there. So why would I fight to stay? I have to rely on other people to point me in the right direction and help me out. So why would I be in an area where people don't want me? The chances of them actually giving me good assistance and really helping me out go down steeply when they don't want me there. So if I have to rely on other people, I don't want to rely on people who don't want me there. So I immediately was like, well, I need to find the restroom. And then this woman goes, well, I guess I could show you where the restroom's at, but I'm not taking you in there. I didn't ask you to take me in there, you ignorant. And I told her the same joke that I always tell people whenever they say something ignorant like that. If I need help inside the restroom, that's the day I check myself into a home for the disabled and the elderly. That's the day I do it. When I need help in the if I can't pee on my own, then I need to be in a home. I'm sorry. But that is just rude. You don't come up to other people. You don't say that to a person in a wheelchair. I'll help you get to the bathroom, but I'm not helping you in there. No, because you assume the person in the wheelchair can use the handrails and get on the toilet themselves. I'm just like, wow. Wow. So, I get some help to the restroom from somebody else because she wasn't willing to do it. Because apparently, she just wanted to be as far away from me as she possibly could. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do to make you dislike me so much? I just showed up and wanting to give you my blood. I am O positive. I know for a fact you want my stuff. O positive, baby. So, other person takes me back, and then, and I finish up in there. I call up a ride while I'm in the bathroom because, multitasking. And so get myself a ride situated, leave the bathroom, wash my hands, of course, always wash your hands, especially if you're visually impaired. And, I'm leading on with the person beside me, and I'm going, I think that's messed up. And this is the part where I am a bit of a dastard. And I was a bit loud. I was like, I don't understand why my social security card and my ID not matching names means that you don't want my blood. And the guy leading me out was like, I don't understand it either. This is the first time I'm ever hearing of something like this. But she said corporate didn't want it happening. So, to K.E.D. Plasma, I hope that I never hear the words from your organization, we need plasma because we don't have enough. Because you obviously have enough, you're turning people away for stupid, arbitrary reasons. So, the question still arises, is it bureaucracy or was it prejudice? And the thing that makes me think that it was prejudice was the fact that the lady said twice, and the previous woman that originally took my ID said it once, that this was not because I was blind, and they wanted me to know that. And if it's not because I'm blind, then why did you bring up my blindness? I just don't get it. Like maybe they were just covering their bases? But then why bring it up twice? As if it's the thing you're thinking about more than anything else. But let me know in the comments what you think about that. I know for a fact I'm never going to K.E.D. Plasma ever again because I'm not getting my social security card changed because one plasma center said so. Till next Prime. Bye-bye for now.